Alright, this is the alternator off my 81 924 turbo. It wasn't charging enough. It was 13 point something volts. It should be over 14. So I bought a replacement 115 volt or amp, whatever, alternator to replace this 91 with. But I figured let's see if I can learn something, right? So I'm going to take this apart, follow some YouTube videos, and see if I can figure out what the problem is. Took the, I think it was a 22 millimeter nut off the front, the pulley, and keeping all these parts in order here, hopefully. So that just pulled off, and then I pulled these long screws loose, but the body won't separate, so I think I need to get a hammer or something and tap it loose. I've seen the others do that. I also took the voltage regulator off the back, and it doesn't look terrible. I mean, I don't really know what I'm looking at, but I think these are the brushes, right, and there's still material left. The springs are still responding. So nothing obvious to me, but if you know better, let me know. Thanks. Okay, so a bunch of pounding on the two ears, the mounting bolt ears, and a little bit on the other holes here. Got the cover off, and you can see that if you needed to replace this bearing, which mine feels fine, you'd have those 4 screws there. Take off to get to the bearing, and then you can push the bearing out. Looks like. All right, it's a short and sweet one.
Okay, I'm back on the alternator this evening. Last night I got the cover off, no big deal, but I could not get this center section out of the back half of the alternator, no matter what I tried. And probably wasn't very wise, but I tried to lever it from down in there. So basically there is a bearing right inside this part of the body, and there's also a bearing there, and so this shaft runs down through the middle of everything on those 2 bearings. And you watch guys and they just pop that cover off and this slides right out. Well, this would not slide out for me for nothing. I finally resorted to heat. I heated this area here where the bearing is up quite a bit, and then hammered on it, and it finally pulled out. So you can see the damage I did on those what were smooth spots. I thought it was coming, but I think I was just pushing that whole surface area up and not moving it out of the bearing. The bearing turns pretty well, but I don't know if you can hear it. It's a little grindy. You can definitely feel it grinding, and you turn it by hand. And then there's 3 screws in here that held this into place, and these are the 3 screws. One of them just broke off, so that's a problem. Not sure what else to think about it. There are some exposed wires right in here. Not sure if you're going to see that, but there's bare copper wires on this one, and maybe a little bit on another one. I'm not sure if that was what was doing it, but I kind of accomplished my goal. I got it apart. I don't really see the problem, but I got a renewal or rebuilt one coming. So if anybody wants the guts of a 90 volt, or not, whatever, 90 amp alternator, give me a ping.